I've been on a Spawn rabbit hole deep dive for quite a while now, and I've looked into Gunslinger Spawn, which is the most based version of Spawn. Well, okay, the regular Spawn's the best Spawn, but I love Gunslinger Spawn. I like his aesthetic. I like how badass and savage he is. And on top of that, I think Medieval Spawn has some potential, and I want to see where it's going. So let's jump right into some Spawn stuff.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Hybrid Network. This is DC Luke here, and we are continuing our extended look into Todd McFarlane.
Dude, right away, something I'm noticing, and this is something I have problems with sometimes, is making sure my audio is high enough. This guy's audio is so fucking quiet, so I'm gonna turn it up in the thing all the way up to max because I know that it's gonna be quiet, so I'm hoping it doesn't fuck up the audio too bad.
Spawn. So far, we've been covering stuff like angels and demons, stories of vengeance and mayhem, but we're just really scratching the surface of the really crazy and expansive world that is Spawn. I think it's time we move away from the monsters that plague Al Simmons, the Spawn that we have been covering, and maybe focus our attention to the other unfortunate souls that have been forced to don this mantle, that of Hellspawn. There's many souls from across time that have found their way into hell and into the clutches of the ruler of the dark world, Malbolgia.
I do like the fact that with Spawn, you kind of have, with Spawn, you have like all these different iterations throughout the years, kind of like Ghost Rider. I love the overlaps because I was always a big Ghost Rider fan. So that's what drew me to Spawn, was you just kind of like Ghost Rider, but way more powerful and way cooler designed. Like, don't get me wrong, Ghost Rider's really cool designed, but at the same time, come on, dude. Spawn, do you see this? Do you see this? Ghost Rider has nothing on this motherfucker right here. This is just peak fucking design.
Each person who's desperate to return to the Earth one last time cry out to strike a deal, which the ruler of Inferno is all too happy to oblige by because the deal is always on his terms. Each of these souls are thrust back onto Earth years too late and with their forms
Bro, look at Gunslinger Spawn looking like a fucking absolute Giga Chad. He's got the pistols, he's got the cool ass hat. Dude, Gunslinger Spawn is the best design Spawn, I'm sorry. Like, I like Al Simmons because he's the OG, he's the GOAT, he's the original, he has the best story. But come the fuck on, dude. Clint Eastwood Spawn goes so fucking hard. What's your opinion? What you want to say about it? Well, you want to say something? Say something. Yeah? What are your thoughts on Gunslinger Spawn? Are you a big fan of Gunslinger Spawn? Are you a big fan of Gunslinger Spawn, huh? She didn't want to talk about it. She wants to keep her opinions close to her chest.
terribly altered to match their demonic steeds. They have no choice but to wander alone, attempting to atone for whatever sins they committed before their power runs out, and before they return to their master's grasp, forced to lead in his great army against heaven. Obviously, some of these souls stand out among the rest, and one Sir John York is perhaps one of the more recognized. Created in 1992 alongside Angela, Medieval Spawn first appeared in the pages of Spawn number 9. The exact nature of the Hellspawn and the extent of their power was still...
By the way, this fucking goes hard. This is almost as cool as Gunslinger Spawn. I've always thought that the Medieval Spawn had like such a dope getup, and that's kind of what like draws me to him. I don't like, obviously we're learning about who he is right now, but god damn does that drip go fucking hard. And like when I talk about drip, I'm talking about massive amounts of drip from my penis. This is happening every time I see this fucking artwork.
A little bit lost on the reader at this time. It was a major revelation showing that the title Spawn belonged to many. Medieval Spawn first appears as a kindly soul, stopping to help a young woman rescue her sister from an ogre's cave. Only upon finding himself in the dark corridors, the Medieval Spawn realizes too late that he's been ambushed. This was not a young maiden, but an assassin from heaven. With their hunt complete in her quarry...
Bro, could you imagine you just chilling and then this baddie wants to kill you? There's gonna be a part of you that wants to let her do it, but you have to stand strong, my friends. You can't look at her boobies. You have to take down this evil Spawn killer. You have to say, oh, I see your fucking frilly Spawn earrings. You shall not defeat me, you wench, even though you have sexy abs and probably a tight pussy.
Trapped, the angel banished the young knight into the far reaches of hell with her dimensional lance, his necroplasm reserves having reached 0 as a result. But there was far more to this mysterious character, more that we learned over the course of the series, if only because of the large impression he made on the audience when he died? Yes, died like a hero? Maybe? Well, whatever it was, he came back a few times over the course of the series. His backstory fleshed out a little bit and expanded upon, where it falls in line with the Spawn that came before him. A man prone to terrible deeds, slaughtering hundreds in the name of some cause that seemed righteous at the time. Upon his death, he sent down...
Bro, you cannot hide from the Crusades. He was part of the Spanish Inquisition, and the Spanish Inquisition always comes a knocking. He was a man who was following orders that he thought was adorned by God, but actually he was following the butthole of Satan. He was waiting to cure Satan's constipation. That is what he was living for.
Down into the pit to make a deal with the devil that rules over it. In this case, a deal where he'd return to the earth to see his sister one last time before she marries. The deal was struck, but there lied the catch. He arrived years too late. His body attached to some strange symbiotic suit, and his sister had long since married. Nothing left to live for, the medieval Spawn traveled the land, searching for...
Bro, we got the weird anime protagonist and his sister arc, bro. He's trying to stop his sister from marrying. He's like, you shall not fuck her pussy. That is for me. I am going to set up what will in the future be known as the state of Alabama. I am the man who sleeps with my own sister. How could you have done this to me, Satan? All I wanted to do was bed her. I wanted to be like the what are they called? The Lancaster house in Game of Thrones. That was my dream, but you took it from me.
Way to atone for his past sins and to reject a life picked out for him by Malbolgia and the denizens of Hell, going so far as to fight against one of Hell's grandest warriors, the Violator, for the sake of the woman he loves, who ultimately turned away from him in regards to his horrible new form. Eventually, Medieval Spawn's adventures were expanded upon even further within the miniseries Medieval Spawn and Witchblade, a storyline that saw the Hellspawn teaming with the 16th century wielder of the mysterious force known as the Witchblade.
Bro, look how fucking much of a baddie she is, bro. This is what I miss about like some of these like 2000s comics. They made every dude look like an overbuffed Giga Chad, which like any guy will never be able to achieve unless they fucking become bodybuilders. And then every girl was just like had like the perfect abs and boobs imaginable. It was just like, it was all like a peak of humanity that no one is able to obtain. But in our eyes, when we read this shit, we saw ourselves as Spawn. I could be the most morbidly obese flume flume boy, but at the same time in my head, I was fucking medieval Spawn.
To do battle against the newest wielder of the darkness and his plans to overthrow and fully control the fairy kingdom. Though this was all a ploy for a wizard to find the means to witness the oncoming apocalypse happening.
No, you can't trust the wizards, baby. When you see Harry Potter, say, fuck you, Harry Potter, you stupid little boy. I don't trust you in your flim-flam magic. Don't trust you in your flim-flam magic. What do you have to say about flim-flam magic? Huh? Nothing? You have nothing to say about Flim Flam Magic? Okay, you just want to stare at the kitty.
In the Top Cow universe. Not much is really known in regards to him, but, customary of all Hellspawn, Medieval Spawn wields the power of necroplasm. He's able to perform a wide range of abilities like energy projection, shape-shifting, etc., all while keeping with a 16th century theme. He's a fan favorite, and one I'm sure fans are eager to see return sometime soon. But that's gonna wrap this up. Thank
you. Dude, I'm surprised that they haven't done a spinoff, because they did a spinoff with Gunslinger Spawn, so I'm surprised they haven't done like a massive medieval Spawn spinoff. I know that they did there's another like there's like a sort of medieval Spawn that they did a run on, but he wasn't the same guy. It was like a different medieval Spawn. They're like, well, we don't want to do the one that everybody loves. We want to do a different one. This is a different medieval Spawn, and then nobody cared about it because they didn't focus on the one that everybody wanted to fucking see, which is such a mad disappointment. What you doing, McFarlane? What you doing, buddy? Why don't you just give us a really cool, like, fucking giant, awesome fantasy arc with this guy?
Thank you guys for watching. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more.
So, I mean, hold on. That was a really good video. I really like the short, sweet, and concise way he did that entire thing. Really, really good. I mean, I don't understand why McFarlane just can't do a whole bunch of animated movies like the old HBO. He's been holding out all these years for cinematic versions that are not going to happen. Dude, that is such a fact. That is such a fact. Because, I mean, like, the Spawn movie... Let's look up the Spawn reboot movie real quick. Because it's honestly, like, nowhere close to being finished. It's finally happening years... Okay. I know it... It's set to release this year. Holy shit, with Jamie Foxx. What is this from? King Spawn confirms cast, story, and everything we know. When was this dropped? Because this was probably July 24th, so that was like a year old. Okay. So the movie's called King Spawn. Let's look up King Spawn, alright? Oh my god, I'm typing one hand, bro. King Spawn. We're gonna go movie because that's what we want to care about. Because this is like an update. Blah 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 blah. Let's go to news. Let's see. Nothing. 8 months. They're also looking for an $8 million horror movie budget. Hopefully that route is still the one being taken. King Spawn in theaters. Capital. Okay. Major update from producer Jason Blum. Okay, what do we got? Ongoing is an ongoing series which launched back in 20. Okay, nothing. I just feel like for it supposedly going to be released in. Supposedly going to be released in the next year. There's surprisingly no information. Literally no information. This is depressing as fuck. This has been the thing ever since they announced that they were going to do another Spawn movie. It's just been endless nothing. It's just like we're getting nothing for this shit. It's so depressing. Like, the biggest thing we've had is from last year. We got some little teasers about Jamie Foxx and shit. But Jamie Foxx has been the dude for, like, the last 10 years. Yeah, you're upset about there not being a Spawn movie either. So, it's just, any thoughts on Hulu making an anthology about predators throughout different eras? I think that's sick. I think it's really sick. And like, it's the thing that, like, I actually would love if they made, like, they put a different focus on Spawn, right? If they made like Spawn in a like TV show setting, I think a live action TV show type setting would be cool. I don't think McFarlane's written a horror movie bullshit that he's going for. I don't think it's gonna be good. I'm not saying it's gonna be terrible. Right out and 100% putting my dick on the cheese grater to say that oh, it's gonna be bad right away. But I just don't have a lot of faith, especially with something that's been in development for like the last 10 fucking years, bro. This thing's been in talks for 10 fucking years. Jamie Foxx has been in talks to do it for like 10 years. We have zero information on it, and it was supposed to come out this year. I don't see it coming out this year. I don't see it coming out anytime soon. I think it's cool that The Predator is getting kind of like a revitalization on Hulu, especially after the kind of mid movie that was like the MCU Predator movie. I can't remember what it was called. Like, I think it was just called Predator. The only good part of that movie was Thomas Jane and I can't remember if it was Key or Peele. No, it was Michael Key. King and Michael Key was in that. They were the best parts of that movie, and that movie's not great. It's just kind of depressing to see the state of Spawn when he could be such a juggernaut, especially with like Invincible out there right now. If they, yeah, Savannah, I get it. You're upset. You're upset that they're not making a Spawn movie, and it upsets you on a very high level. And the world is not fair. The world's not fair, and I think she wants to now. Let's see. I'm gonna hand her the baby. Handing the wife the baby. Anyway, like the big thing for me is I don't know if we're ever gonna get it, and I want it to happen. I actually liked the first Spawn movie. I thought the first Spawn movie was fucking fun. I enjoyed this. Is it the most peak fucking thing ever? No, but I think the director's cut makes it a lot better. I think that it had potential. It was a fun movie. It's something that I can go back and watch, and I'm like, I enjoyed this. So, I mean, I do want to see, like, kind of a darker rendition, and I'm hoping they do it right. Maybe, I know they're going to do it not from the perspective of Spawn, kind of have Spawn as an in and out type character. And what I think would be cool is if they did it in like a horror movie perspective, is if they focused on somebody like, oh shit, Billy Kincaid. I think if the movie revolved around Billy Kincaid and just had Spawn popping in and out to like trying to see what's going on. He's like this dark shadowy figure as you follow the horrors of Billy Kincaid. I think that would make an incredible horror movie. And then at the end, just show Billy get obliterated in the ass by Spawn. Tell me that wouldn't be fucking sick. Like an actual comic rendition of Billy Kincaid, dude. Because, like, you look at Billy Kincaid's death, right? Tell me this wouldn't be the epic last scene for a horror movie, dude. Like, tell me that wouldn't be the greatest end scene of a horror movie to just, like, pull out and you see this is what happened to Billy Kincaid. And the whole time, Spawn's just, like, this ominous figure that you think has something else to do with it, but it's all about the atrocities of Billy Kincaid and the investigation behind trying to figure out what he's doing. That'd be so sick. That would be very sick, and I think they could go about it. But I just don't know what their premise is, if they're going to make Spawn like the Predator or what they're going to fucking do. I mean, like, for me, Spawn was always, and I see a chat, it was definitely an important part of my childhood, and that's kind of how Spawn was for me. Now, I didn't watch a lot of the Spawn show. I need to. I need to watch the HBO Spawn show. I have HBO Max, so I need to just sit down and watch the whole thing. But I know for a fact that when I was looking at the Spawn movie as a kid, me and my dad watched that shit a lot, and I enjoyed the fuck out of it. It was such an important thing. It made me read the comic books. I had action figures from Spawn. I just loved the fuck out of him. And I watched a little bit of the animated show with my dad, but I haven't actually sat down in my adult life and watched the whole thing. But yeah, dude, I can't wait for another Spawn movie. And I'm hoping we do get news. Now, I did look at this on 4/15. I know this video is going to come out in like a month. When I actually clip this up and put this on my channel as a standalone video, it'll come out like a month or fucking something like that. But at the end of the day, I just think that I don't see us getting any new information between the time I record this now on stream to the time I repost this as a video. I do not see us getting another Spawn or a ton of Spawn information with how tumultuous this fucking development has been. But that's going to be all for me today, guys. I have to get ready for work, so that means I got to get like a good jerk-off session in. Otherwise, I'm going to be grumpy that entire work period that I'm going through. So that's all I got for you guys. Thank you so much. Like, subscribe, comment, check out all my other videos. Every Friday, I do a massive original content style video where I either do a breakdown of video games or something I find interesting, and check those out. I put a lot of work into them, and yeah, deuces.